Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. Today we're talking about the new horror movie and video game adaptation, Until Dawn.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Trick or treat!
1 year after her sister disappeared, Clover and her friends head to the remote valley where she vanished to search for answers. Exploring an abandoned visitor center, they soon encounter a mass killer who murders them one by one. However, when they mysteriously wake up at the beginning of the same night, they're forced to relive the terror over and over again. So Until Dawn is directed by David F. Sandberg, who also did films like Lights Out as well as Annabelle Creation, so he's no stranger to the horror genre. And if you guys don't know, this is an adaptation of sorts of the video game that came out on PlayStation. So coming into this, I had never played the game myself, so just wanted to give you guys that perspective from someone who's never played the video game watching this film. And so I really didn't have any kind of expectations coming into the movie, and so just based off the trailer alone, I thought that this looked like it could be a fun film. And so the whole Groundhog Day concept isn't something that's new to films, with films like Groundhog Day, Happy Death Day 1 and 2, as well as some other movies. But what I like what they did here, when these characters would die and the night would start over, things would change, and so different events would shift slightly. You would have different creatures coming after these characters, which I really enjoyed. It wasn't just the same events repeating over and over again. And when these characters did die and they came back to life, they remembered that they had died previously, and as the movie went on, it started to affect each one of them differently, which I thought made it a little bit fresh. And I also really appreciated the kill scenes and the gore in this film. They really went for it, and this was one of those movies that they very easily could have went PG-13. They could have just phoned it in to make the film more marketable, and I'm happy to say that that isn't the case. There is a good amount of gore and quite a few kill scenes in here, so if that's something that you really enjoy as a horror fan, I think that you'll like that element of it. And to kind of go with that, I love the practical effects, the makeup in this film. I love the design of the creatures in this movie. There is a masked killer that shows up, and I guess from what I understand, the mask is something right from the game. I could be wrong, I'd heard that somewhere else, but I guess that's right from there. I thought that looked really creepy. And then the other creatures that you get to see, the witches, the Wendigos, and different things like that. So I thought they did a really good job with all of those elements, and when it comes to horror films especially, practical all the way, baby. I love practical effects when it comes to horror. And now going into the negatives of the film, there really wasn't much to the story here, and I don't know if there's more to the story in the video game. Like I said, I've never played the game, so I have no idea, but it was pretty bare bones, so it kind of really surface level, and I do feel like there was the potential for more. There were some elements that they maybe could have explored a little bit more, and they didn't. As far as character-wise goes, I thought all the actors did a fine job with the material that they were given, but there just wasn't any characters that I found interesting, found myself being able to latch onto, and so when it came to some of those scarier elements, I feel like it did take some of the tension out of the film for me as far as that goes. And I know it's horror, so sometimes it can be par for the course. It's a trope in the genre, but there are some really dumb decision making by multiple characters throughout this film, a couple times that had me rolling my eyes, and so that's something that I know kind of probably being a little nitpicky because it can happen often in horror films, but I was just, some of the decisions like, what are you doing? And this has nothing to do with the movie itself, but I just had to vent a little bit. So I went to this movie with my girlfriend, and man, we had one of those annoying Friday night crowds where the people that showed up on either side of us just constantly talking throughout the film, people being on their phones, on social media, and I just don't understand it. It's like, if you're going to go to the movies, you're going to pay the money for the ticket, for the concessions. Why are you just you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. I don't understand it. It just drives me nuts. Overall, Until Dawn was an okay haunted house film where the gore and the creatures were there, but it lacked interesting characters and story. And so, as far as the score goes, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. It didn't feel like I wasted my time watching it, but it's not something that I do see myself going back and watching over and over again. But I'm really curious for you guys, and I'm sure there's going to be some division here because of the people who have played the game going into this. They're probably going to have a completely different experience. So let me know down below in the comments what you guys thought of the film, and if you had gone into this without playing the game at all, or if you did play the game going into this, kind of what I want to see how that experience is different compared to you guys. So yeah, let me know down below in the comments. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell button next to it. That way you get notifications for all my new videos. Give this video a thumbs up, and as always guys, please make sure to check back for more Pop Culture with Pat.